again, sit back, relax, get ready for all the action. And I'm going to throw it over to Flip and Chunk up in the booth here for the grand finals. Flip, why don't you take it away?
Thank you, Rocker Man. Chunk, we are finally at the grand finals. How are you doing, man? I promise I'm here, guys. I know you can't see my face quite yet, but I am here. Chunk, how you doing?
I'm doing great tonight. I'm excited to see how this game was going. We kind of had a little break, both teams getting prepped to play this game. And I know if you, both of these teams, you've got to find a game plan here tonight as these teams have looked dominant at different points of the season.
Yeah, different dominating points, like you said. I think the biggest difference for me is this diffusion roster. I feel like they have too many lulls, too many low points. Like whenever I casted in the semifinals, it felt like they were too slow out the gate, and it felt like that this Gorgons roster, they're gonna punish that really hard. I'm just looking at one stat in particular here, Chunk. It's from Demoralize, and it's a demoralizing stat. And there's a reason that his name's capitalized demo because he's averaging 4 demos a game. Like that should be a crime. I'm not gonna lie. So I think that going into this series, we're gonna look for some physical play out of Gorgons, and that might just be the thing that makes Diffusion, honestly, I think, tilt a little bit because I would hate playing against that.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a mental thing. I would like to see Diffusion come out. Like you said, we saw them start out slow. I'd like to see them at least win one of the first 2 games to really solidify as you do not want to come out slow against this Gorgons team. They will punish that. And Gorgons, we saw them without their main roster in the semis. We did know Kadofe did not have power, and I'm curious to see if he will play tonight. I know it was a question mark coming into tonight, and I think that is kind of important. I did talk to Xeia and Demoralize, and that was the first time they had played with Cook since like the first 2 weeks of the season, and they got it done. So they've looked very impressive. So Gorgons, I'd say they have the edge here, but if you're Diffusion, there's a couple things you can do to really edge it in your favor, and starting off strong is one of the things I look to Diffusion to do to kind of turn the tables in their favor.
Yeah, and I think this Diffusion team has a big exclamation point on it, and that is Div. He can be just that dude. Whenever it comes down to crunch time, you got that Game 7 prediction coming out from Cog, and I bet if it goes to Game 7, you're looking at one player to make the plays happen, and that's gonna be Div. So Div, I think, is gonna be the the player to look out for on Diffusion. As we are resetting the lobby real quick, getting these guys already here, because I mean this grand final, it's a battle of 2 teams that I think are trying to establish themselves as, hey, we were the dominant team this season. You can't question that, and I think we had the best 2 teams here in the Novice League going up against each other. So I think we could have asked for a better grand final. And Chunk, we got the desk's predictions here. But what about you? Who do you think's gonna win this one? How many games are we going? Do we have a Game 7 in hand?
All right, so I'm going to stick with my original bracket prediction. I did have both these teams getting to the finals here. I believe I had Gorgons either in 5 or 6, but I know I had Gorgons winning, so I will stick with that. I believe it was in 5 though, which is the same prediction as Jaeger's had. So me, Jaeger's ball knowers if we get it right, but I'd like to see what the Fusion can do. I know they've been looked impressive all season long, and I'm curious to see how they will come out tonight, just based off what we kind of saw these teams match up later on in the season, and we saw Gorgons really take advantage and win 3-1, but it should be a really close series.
Yeah, I agree, and I think I'm gonna give Diffusion another game, one extra game. I'm gonna give them 6, but I think Gorgons are gonna take this one. I do believe in, I believe in the demos. Also believe in Xeia. I think underrated player for sure, and we'll have to see who comes out on top. But this Diffusion roster, not want to be messed with. Subzero, Div, Mallow definitely have something to say here as we get Grand Finals kicked off, as some early pressure here from Diffusion. Going to get saved away by Xeia into the corner. Now it's going to look as Demoralize clears that one over to Xeia. One more touch coming out from him in the corner. Looking for the pass mid. Nobody there for it, though, as Kadofe is going to have an open net here. Going to bang it off the post. And we're getting started early with some novice moments here. Chunk and already Gorgons looking to put on the pressure. Could have had one early there.
Yeah, Kadofe getting a little bit of those nerves out early. He had it what looked to be an open net. I don't believe he had much boost. Couldn't get around it. And Diffusion will get away with one, some would say. And I'm curious to see if Gorgons will use the demos for this pressure. We know the demos will come out. We kind of saw different Gorgons in that last semifinals. Demoralize did have some issues with this controller and didn't demo as much, so I did hear he got that new controller fix, so as Subzero gets a crucial beat here to set the Diffusion up early. And I was talking about starting off strong, and that is how you want to do a clean beat on Demoralize. No one back to save it for Gorgons, and Diffusion strikes here first.
An early goal is what Diffusion were looking for. They want to apply as much pressure as possible. You can't give one up immediately, though, as Subzero going to get back for that save as well. Now, an open net here for Div. You just got to put it on target, and that's how you do it. I thought that was on target. That's why I said that, I swear. But that one is going to ring off the top corner, and it remains a 1-0 game. Subzero barely able to get that touch to the corner, and now it's going to be Gorgons looking for their chance to counterattack. They're just going to put a shot on target here. Mallow able to make the save. What a shot there. Coming up from Xeia, and Demoralize going to put another one mid. Div, though, had that read, had that clear. And Kadofe going to get the touch. Looking for one more. Not going to have it, though. And Div putting her in reverse, gets it past Subzero. That's not the player you want to get it past, though, so Xeia going to try to find the mid-pass with 0 boost. Trying to get one more touch. He's there. Demoralize. Going to put that one in the back of the net, tying this game up.
Yeah, the connection of the two players you want. Both Xeia and Demoralize have had success in champions in other leagues. Both, I believe, recently, so this is the connection you want. Very successful players, and it's no shock we see them today here in the finals. And they are the players you need to stop here, mainly if you're Diffusion, but don't sleep on Kadofe as well.
Yeah, Kadofe gonna be a huge difference maker here, but it's gonna be Demoralized putting another shot on Div. With 0 boost, having to make that save. Gets the boost and the ball here. He gets a nice 50, but it's going to be Kadofe once again. Xeia going to look for the pass mid. Mallow has to save it, but Kadofe sneaks it by him, right behind him. Mallow thought he had the near post saved. Well, psych, he's going back post for that shot.
Yeah, normally people refer to Xeia as a striker, but these passes have been incredible, leading both Kadofe and Demoralize to have really good opportunities, have some free shots, and they've been able to capitalize here early off some really good passing plays and teamwork. And I'm curious to see how Diffusion will respond to that, maybe with some teamwork of their own. But so far, they have been stopped.
So far, not only one goal for them, and it was a very good goal, but they could have had that open net, wasted that opportunity, and since then, it has been a lot of defense on the side of Diffusion. Looking to continue here. Div going to try to get this touch, but only going to go as far as Demoralizes Subzero on the backboard, a little awkward. Gets one touch, able to get the follow-up, and Div's going to be there for the shot. That one's going to go wide. Div looking for the follow-up, but it's going to hit towards the side wall instead as Demoralized now. Going to try to take some control. Got the 100 boost, looking for the 50. Mallow wins that one really well, but that one off the backboard, and going to be cleared away as Xeia able to get the beats, and Mallow gonna look for a clear back, but it's only as far as Demoralize, who set that one up high, got a follow-up, and it's gonna try to be Diffusion and Div here looking for an opportunity, but it's gonna be Demoralize sending that one away. Demoralize now looking for a pass mid, has a teammate, but Mallow had that one cleared. Kadofe looking for the follow, looking for the challenge. Mallow not able to get it off the hood of his car, and Xeia able to get the follow clear. 1:20 remaining. Diffusion looked for an opportunity, but a demo from Xeia, and Mallow didn't chow this ball. He thought he had the shot covered, Subzero in net also, I think, got bumped to Confusion. Results in a Gorgons 3-1 lead here.
Yeah, everyone being demoed, bumped, demoing, bumping. Just really physical play by both teams here. And Gorgons able to get another great opportunity and capitalize. We've seen Diffusion find some opportunities of their own as Xeia puts in another goal here. Really, I would say, leading this offense for Gorgons. Just finds a beat, kind of similar to the one we saw Subzero do earlier in the game. Just a great beat on Mallow, floating over the midfield, and seems to be very successful for both teams here, Flip.
Yeah, and I think the midfield is going to be where this game is won, and right now it is Gorgons winning that one heavily, as Demoralize is going to go ahead and demoralize them some more with the top left clanger to the back of the net. A huge shot here. Div just not able to get there in time, and that's just a huge goal here. 5-1 lead. Gorgons showing up and showing out here early in the grand finals, and this is kind of similar to what we saw, Chunk, in the semis coming out from Diffusion. They start really slow, I feel like, and this Gorgons team, they're not going to let you start slow without getting punished. The pass from Demo to Xeia, it's beautiful coming out from Gorgons.
Yeah, the teamwork has been incredible. A pinch opportunity, Mallow kind of out of position there, and they get punished. We've seen, I'd say, a lot of nerves from Diffusion, a lot of over-aggression and mispositioning, which is what you can't do against Gorgons. You've got to find the way to punish them, because sometimes they misposition as well. I feel like finding a way around that will be the key to both these teams. Just positioning, I feel like, plays a lot, especially with the physical play we see from both these teams on early.
Yeah, and once again, another counter-attack opportunity, but excuse me, a wasted one, it feels like, and there's no real shots coming through from Diffusion. Mallow finally able to get the beat on one. Demoralize racing back. The shot's not on target, and Demoralize is going to have the boost to get the save. Mallow going to try to continue to put pressure on, but nobody in the midfield able to put that shot back on target. That touch from Div going to be met by Kadofe, and it's going to be Xeia clearing that one off the side. Well, Demoralize is going to flick that ball way high. Div has to get a touch on this one. That ball was actually going to fall on target, I believe. That one would have been a 7-1 Brazil, but instead it's 6-1. No Brazil. No, don't pack our bags quite yet. But Gorgons, they're looking to go home early here and trying to set up a sweep, because this dominant performance already, Chunk, that's what you want to see come out of the gate.
Yeah, you definitely want to see that if you are that Gorgons team. But if you're Diffusion, one of the things I really expect them to do is to keep your mental high. I know it can get demoralizing, pun intended, to kind of get out-physicaled, outscored, but you got to keep your head up, especially going on. One thing I was impressed was how they are able to keep their head up. After kind of slow starts against the Crows, they had to make a lot of comebacks, and I think that if they're able to continue to do what they were able to do in that Crows semis, I feel like they do have a great chance here. But starting off slow, you got to take it one game at a time, especially with how this first game ended up.
First game not going the Diffusion way. They put up 7 saves, but they let up 6 goals, so just shows the amount of pressure that Gorgons really had. And I think this game, you've got to see a lot more solo plays, because I think the best way that they can ever, like, the goal that they scored was a Subzero solo play into just a pure beat. And the way that you catch out this Gorgons team, their third man does overcommit. We saw Mallow get a beat on one. The shot wasn't on target, and Demo was able to get back in time. But that's the kind of play you need to make. You got to make their third man overcommit and get a nice shot on target. That's not going to help out, though, as Kadofe just gets the touch right past Mallow here. And the touch here from Subzero is just... Or he doesn't even get the touch, sorry. It's just a little bit of miscommunication and panic, it feels like, on the side of the Diffusion defense.
Yeah, I feel like if you're Diffusion, you're playing a little antsy. You got to play a little bit more patient. We do know the talent of all these players on the side of Diffusion. All the incredible mechs from Subzero, the consistency from Div, but they just seem a little shaky so far. We've seen them miss a multitude of easy shots and opportunities, and I'm kind of looking for them to settle down, make less risky plays, and not get punished here, as You do not want to be down against this Gorgons team, especially with Demoralize. Everyone, everyone in Novice knows once you go down, it kind of enables him to go for more demos and really open up the scoring attack.
Yeah, and this scoring attack will probably continue for Gorgons as Demo was hunting them demos. Xeia just able to get a touch there, but still an opportunity here for Diffusion. Looking to continue it, but Subzero's touch is going to be cleared away by Demoralize, and Div with a nice touch on the sidewall. Looking for a follow-up, he gets it past another, but that touch from Xeia is going to get that ball cleared all the way out. Still, more pressure here as Mallow looks for some control. Doesn't have any boost though, so might leave it for a teammate, but instead he bumps Subzero. Div toward the backboard. Div doesn't have the double. Thought he did. Instead, it rails off the crossbar. Still, more pressure here for Diffusion. This is the kind of offense that you want to see coming out from them. Demoralized. Awkward touch there. That ball bouncing mid. Div already up. Gets the beat on Kadofe, but a demo in the back end is going to force Mallow to take that shot. Not going to be on target, but the demo means that there's nobody mid. And now Demoralized looking for one more. Gets the fake on one. As Xeia going to try to take control. The touch a little far. Still able to get the pass across. Mallow not able to react to it. And Subzero here with 0 boost. Kadofe just going to try to charge that ball immediately. Looking for one more touch off the ceiling. He gets it. Demoralized couldn't get the shot on target though, but still more time wasted. That one though is going to be cleared away, and Xeia's going to be there for the shot. Demoralized touch. I thought someone from Diffusion would be there, but after the team bump, Xeia just ends up in the right spot.
Yeah, it just seems like that midfield presence after the pass just kind of caught Div off guard. He had full boost, just not really expecting the man midfield, and you gotta wonder if the combs are there for Diffusion. Definitely can help just knowing where players are, especially midfield if you have ball cam on it. Xeia will get a 3rd goal here as Gorgons just continue to mount this attack. Mallow just a bad clear, ends up feeding out middle on Xeia there to capitalize again, and Xeia has been taking over this series.
Taking over this series. And you know you can't do it without his teammates, but man, sometimes it looks like that. But every goal he scored, I'm pretty sure has been assisted by Demoralize. So it's so far a really good series from all the Gorgons players. And Mallow looking to have a good series himself, as Mallow got big for that 50 there on the goal line, and he's able to get some help from Div to put that one through a 1-3 lead, or sorry, a 1-3 deficit now for Diffusion. Still, 2 goals is it's a lead where you can't quite feel safe. So this Gorgons team, they got to feel a little bit pressured here, but knowing them, they might just score 2 more right away. So Chunk, if you're this Diffusion squad, how do you continue to put up this pressure, even though this Gorgons team just seems to be beating you on every challenge in the midfield right now?
We saw them be able to come back against the Crows in similar deficits with even less time. If I remember correctly, I feel like they have all the talent offensively to do it. They just need to really continue this offensive pressure and connect with each other. We've seen multiple attacks fizzle out because a pass leads middle, no one's there, no continued pressure, and I feel like that will really diminish your attacks here, especially when you need all the attacks you can get against what has been a pretty stout Gorgons defense here, Flip.
Yeah, and what I've seen a lot is you see a lot of control or a really high clear, and either way, it makes it to where there's usually like a 3rd man always back here for Gorgons, like sitting in net, playing the shot. That one, though, ain't going to be too good of a shot, as Div realizes that Kadofe does not have the touch on the double, and the defense in net is just not quite ready. Xeia thought he had the touch, crept out a little bit, and he gets punished there. A huge goal there from Div, and these are the kinds of games where you gotta capitalize if you're Diffusion, because you're not going to get a whole lot of chances to be down only 1 goal with a minute remaining. This is the time to strike. You cannot let this opportunity go to waste, but a huge touch there from Demoralize. Div able to get the clear. Still, more pressure here from Gorgons. They know it's do or die time. Div up in the air, gets the beat on Xeia, but it's going to be a Demoralize getting that ball cleared. Subzero looking for the touch to the corner off the sidewall, but Demoralize sticking around on 0 boost. Subzero, that touch off the backboard. The clear from Xeia. It's going to be beautiful. Div off the sidewall. Can't get the follow-up touch. A double commit, though. That ball going straight up. Subzero hitting that one to the back wall. Gets bumped, so goes a little too hard. Mallow passes it back to him. Div going to be there for the pass. Div gets the goal. The hat trick ties up the game here with 30 seconds remaining.
That's exactly what you need if you're Diffusion. A great passing play from all three of them. Really good finishing pass, good vision from Subzero. Seeing Divs there, coming down middle, finds him and gets a perfect strike to make this game tied. And we've seen these comebacks happen before, and I'm curious to see how Gorgons will play it now that they've allowed 3 straight after being up 3-0 early on in this game.
All that matters, though, Chunk, is this next goal, it feels like, and it might just come right here. Div, put that one away, buddy. That one is going to be a 4-3 lead here for Diffusion. They don't want overtime. They want to end this game right now.
Yeah, Div has been phenomenal this game, putting away all 4 goals. With 3 assists, 2 from Mallow, 1 from Subzero. Really good plays from Diffusion here, and really good shooting from Div to alleviate the pressure that they've been feeling. They haven't had to save a whole lot as they've found their rhythm on attack, and they're able to take this big game too, which is definitely one of the keys to victory that I really needed to see from them in order to go the distance here in this series.
Yeah, honestly, I think the resilience to be down 0-3 but have the pressure, and not only that, I felt like the composure to be able to put up these goals. They didn't overcommit and put themselves in bigger of a hole. They just continued to play their game. Their midfield challenges were a lot better this game, and I do think that the Gorgons didn't connect on a lot of stuff either. And so I think you got to look for Gorgons to be a little bit better on the defensive end. I think they trusted a lot on the defensive end as well. Like Kadofe hit that ball off the sidewall, doesn't get the double touch, and Xeia thought he did. And so he crept out of net. Div took advantage of that. That last goal, Kadofe really high up on the up the field as third man because he expected a 50 to come out, but that ball just sails right over his head. And those kinds of plays happen whenever you play a super trusting kind of rotation where you're super aggressive. You're going to score a lot of goals, Chunk, but you're definitely liable to get scored on. So, going into this game 3, do you think we see this Gorgons team dial it back a little bit? Do you think they still continue to play their game? And most importantly, do you think Diffusion are still able to capitalize on those little mistakes that Gorgons have been making?
Yeah, I do think the offense Diffusion had last game was completely different, completely flip-flopped to what we saw in that game 1. They weren't stuck on their backline getting 6 saves from the 13 opportunities that Gorgons had, and I think if they're able to allow their attack to be similar to that they are looking good here in this game too, and they gotta break up those connections we saw from Gorgons offensively, and I'm curious to see how Gorgons will adapt as we see a big Rule 1 come out. We've got a 2v2 here in game number 3, and we've got the 2 high-style players on both teams going at it here right now, Flip.
Yeah, the 2 high-style players, but if I was in a 2v2, I'm trusting Div and Subzero if I'm on Diffusion. And I think having Demoralize and Xeia as well these are the 2 twos players that you want on the pitch. Div obviously making a huge save there, but the shot from Demoralize was just as good. Div having to make another one there. That one gonna get cleared away to the corner. Still more pressure here as Xeia puts that one back into the corner. That ball bouncing awkwardly, but Div's gonna have 1 touch, gets the flip, trying to get the 50 as well. Demoralize wins that though. That one rolling off the wall, rolled off the wall just a little bit, so Demoralize fakes it, goes down. Div, no touch coming through. Xeia just has to put that one in the back of the net, and he does. A huge goal there for Gorgons, and just a 1-0 lead once again. And if you're Diffusion, obviously the rule 1, you gotta honor it. But man, sometimes you'll be thinking in the back of your head, man, what if I didn't honor that, you know? But in the end, 2v2 goal results in the Gorgons lead, but now we're back to 3v3 here, Chunk, and it's a whole different game.
Yeah, Demoralize on that goal. I realize it's a 2v2, plays it smart, gets a beat on 1, Div, no boost, able to capitalize on that. And I think if they play smart like that, even in 3s, that they'll find themselves in really advantageous positions here And I think that that's what they've really been doing well this series. And if they've played smart, Gorgons are gonna be the team to stop. But Div has been the all-star X factor here, as Mallow has a good opportunity, but not able to find the angle.
That one is a good pass from Div. Subzero. Div looking for the bump. Mallow was looking for the shot, but Xeia able to get in the way. Now, a counterattack here. Is that one going to be off target? Looking for the dunk on Div, but Div smartly not going for that one. Instead, he's going for that touch, and he's going to get a nice one. Is he able to get over another? Kadofe was able to get a piece of it. Awkwardly, Mallow able to win that challenge. That ball bouncing down. Mallow looking for the follow. Not going to come through. That ball going to get cleared. Subzero, a little awkward here. Has to clear that one to his own corner. Div looking for the follow. Gonna pop that ball up high. Kadofe immediately on top of that one. That ball bouncing in the corner. Shot from Demoralize is good. Mallow in position to save that one. A huge bump here as Xeia's going to take that one. One more touch. Not going to come through as Div gets a huge pinch out. No boost to work with. He doesn't care. Huge touch there. Demoralize last man. Gets a nice touch. And Kadofe able to get the last man beat. Now just has to put the shot on target. Not able to, but it's a huge fake. And Xeia sneaks it past the defense there. Div couldn't put the brakes on in time. And a 2-0 lead here for Gorgons.
Yeah, Kadofe, the lowest sell in this lobby, I believe, by 70 MMR. Just really, he could be so good, but sometimes he won't hit the ball. And Xeia realizes that, able to capitalize, kind of fakes out Div, and I think he has been playing pretty well offensively, but the defense on his side has been lackluster, but they haven't really needed defense here in this game, as they have been able to continue what they are able to get done at the beginning of game 2 and all through game 1.
Yeah, now it's just about this Gorgons team holding on, and like I said, they've been able to, and they just weren't able to do that in game 2. And I think whenever they start putting their foot off the gas, that's whenever things get dangerous. And whenever you pass the ball to Mallow, he will make you pay.
Yeah, Kadofe, a missed touch. Demoralize, no boost, and Mallow punishes. No boost for Xeia either. Out of reserves for this Gorgons team. And it seems like once they get caught out on that defensive side when they're coming back from their attack, no boost left. Seems like the prime position for Diffusion to strike, as they do there.
Can they capitalize once again, though, as Subzero looking for the clear. Demoralize, able to get the beat on that one. Mallow not going to get the touch there, and so Div, last man back here, has to play the shot as Kadofe with a nice one. That one going to ring off the crossbar and out. That ball off the ceiling. Going to be met by Demoralize in the air, but Mallow had him answered. A huge touch there from Kadofe. Div not able to get back. A great shot there from Kadofe from half field, and a great touch there from Mallow, but Kadofe just too quick on it.
Yeah, he turns back super quick on that ball, realizing where the 50's going, and puts it with enough power to get it by this Diffusion defense, who has not had a lot of answers just to the quick rotations that we've seen from Gorgons through the series offensively. They've looked tremendous here, but the comebacks have been seen from this Diffusion squad. You do not want to let Div have the ball, as we've seen what miraculous things he's done here in game 2.
Div touches the ball. Sometimes it just results in a goal for him. People don't know how. It's like he works miracles. Gonna have to work a huge one here. Subzero gonna look for the shot. That one gonna go off target, and Kadofe gonna get the clear. Xeia now not gonna touch that one. Kadofe gonna get the touch, but Div has that ball saved to the corner. Still 10 seconds remaining. They got to score 2 goals. Maybe make it 3. That ball hits the crossbar, though, and it's out. Kadofe with the shot. Subzero going to have that ball saved. Has a counterattack opportunity, but it's going to be Xeia. Going to be able to get back to that one. And as time runs out, Gorgons secure game number 2 here. Huge win here from Gorgons, and able to put themselves, back on top, right the ship a little bit. Diffusion, they got to find a way to get that offense rolling once again, because Gorgons team, they are just, whenever they're on, they're so hard to stop.
Yeah, they've shown an incredible offense again. 12 shots. A lot of them wide, only 5 saves and 3 goals. We see 4 of them rattle crossbar, go out other ways. But they find their offense so easily, and Diffusion, no answers so far. They've got to find a way to get off their defense, and once they do, we've seen the easy counterattacks they get just from overcommits and kind of missed touches from Gorgons when they're on their back half, on the back foot. And I think that if Diffusion can find their stride and get on that attack, that is where you've got to be for Diffusion to win this series.
Diffusion, you've got to find a way to get past this Gorgons offense. Kadofe gonna have a shot there. Mallow gonna have that ball saved. Div with one touch is gonna be Xeia with a nice shot. That one already putting Gorgons up by 1, and we're only 9 seconds into this game.
Yeah, Xeia, the striker for the team, comes off the wall, gets a great shot. Subzero, I believe he was last, just caught a little too far up. Didn't expect Xeia to put it off the wall with the amount of power he did. And Xeia, known as a striker, you do not want to let him have opportunities. He will punish you with how good he is at just getting the ball in the net.
And now looking to do it once again. Does Kadofe look for the pass mid? Xeia a little too far though, so he's gonna have to challenge this one. As Subzero trying to get it past him. Nice touch there from Xeia, but Div gonna have that one clear. Kadofe with a beautiful fake and Demoralize with the shot. Oh my goodness, it's a screamer from half court. Mallow, he wasn't quite ready for that one as Demoralize puts a 2-goal lead here for Gorgons.
Yeah, Subzero tries to get there, tries to touch the power and the placement combined, puts it around 2 Diffusion defenders who were able to at least make a play on the ball, but an incredible shot from Demoralize. They seem to be able to do what they've been able to do all series long. They really haven't found an answer for it for Diffusion. We've seen them win a game, but it was really because they were able to come back in that second half of the game. They've been able to get it done through this first half every single game for Gorgons, and you've got to either come back or find a way to stop it, as if they win this game, you will be put on a 3-1 match point, which is definitely dangerous.
Can be dangerous, but Diffusion, we know not to count them out until the clock hits 0. Div gonna get a beat on 1, looking for the follow-up, has an open net to shoot on. Demoralize, do you have this ball saved? No! Diffusion and Div are gonna bring this game into a 1-goal game here. Another counterattack, and this is the Diffusion way. This is how they're gonna have to beat this Gorgons team, because I think specifically Div, he can get the beats in the midfield into the counterattack. I think Mallow can as well, but you're going to be looking for Div to do that a lot more often, and if they want to take some games off this Gorgons team, that's how they're going to have to do it here, Chunk. But with 3.5 minutes still remaining, still plenty of time for either one of these teams to make a statement. But right now, you just got to put your faith in Gorgons, because I think they have just looked so much more dominant here as they're able to get that ball cleared away.
Yeah, they got punished on that counterattack. We saw Demoralize go for a demo, and then we saw a beat on Kadofe, no one home. Div able to capitalize. I think that is what's got to happen. You've got to find the counterattacks. You've got to find these little fast break opportunities, as that has been successful. And I think that's really one of the only ways to play against this Gorgons team. They've done so well to shut down any attack where everyone's back for this Gorgons team, but Demoralize will find one. A great trickle down off this pass from Kadofe, able to slot it across. Mallow not able to do anything. Backflip. Subzero gets bodied on the 50 on the goal line, and Gorgons continue to keep up this first half pressure.
The pressure continues. Still a 2-goal lead here. A touch there from Demoralized makes it to where Div can't get a flip reset, as Xeia is able to get the long clear. Looking for the follow-up as Mallow had 0 boost. Div, though, in the opposite corner, able to pick up 100 and try to take control of that ball. Got bumped off, so it's going to be Kadofe getting that ball towards the midfield. Xeia looking for the touch after Subzero got it and able to get a flick past 1. Div, last man back, able to get the 50. Kadofe has to read this touch and is able to, but it's towards his own net. That one's just going to be on target, and disaster strikes here, but maybe one of the best shots I've seen all series.
Yeah, we can edit the trail in the name in Photoshop and get a goal of the year going for Kadofe here. But an unfortunate touch as last man back, just too far up. Angles his car towards that net, and Div will find another one off the misplay from Gorgons. And we've seen that awkwardness from Kadofe as third man, and just everyone really on Gorgons as well. It is hard to, when they are back on their last leg, and it's been what has worked for Diffusion, as they need to find another one here without being punished by one of these Gorgons' explosive attacks.
Yeah, kind of trying to make that one happen here, but if you're Diffusion, you got to be happy where the game's at right now. A 1-goal lead for Gorgons is all you can really ask for right now. You are still in this one in Game 4. A crucial game here. Trying to make this a best of 3 is Diffusion. Do not want to be on match point. Div trying to secure the tie right there. Maybe has an opportunity here, but Demoralize with a huge demo in the midfield prevents any shot from coming through. Subzero able to get back for the save. Subzero now looking for a long clear. That's over Kadofe. That one, that touch from Div is going to get cleared away, though. Subzero trying to continue the pressure. Mallow hits it past him, but able to get a backflip touch on it anyway. No touch there. Div gonna have to go for this one. The fake from Demoralize, but Subzero able to make the save on the goal line. Mallow with one touch off the sidewall. Subzero gonna bang that ball, and it's Kadofe. His touch gonna be met by Div, who pops that ball up high. It's going down. Demoralize doesn't have the touch, but Xeia does. Subzero in the back line, able to get the clear. Able to take control, able to try to get past one, gets it past another. Demoralize, last man, the touch to the sidewall. Div gonna try to beat him there, but Demoralize wins that race. That one gonna be met by Demoralize, and then off the double, the pinch doesn't come through, and Mallow looking for the counter attack. A huge demo. Kadofe to the corner. Kadofe gonna get met by Subzero. That one off the crossbar. Div gonna hit the post. Mallow not gonna be there. Mallow there for the shot this time. It's high. Kadofe doesn't have the touch, but Demoralize into the corner. Div trying to continue the pressure, doesn't have the touch. Subzero coming to answer for him. Demoralize looking for the clear, buying his team some time. Mallow not going to be there as Xeia gets the dunk. Div not able to, oh my gosh, he does get the touch, and a huge one it is. Subzero with the long clear, it's not on target, the follow-up's not there, and off the backboard, Demoralize has the clear, and Mallow not going to get the shot through. Diffusion trying everything in their bag of tricks, not enough to get through this Gorgons team. One more opportunity. It dies in front of Subzero, and all they can do is be on match point now. Gorgons able to come up clutch on defense there.
Yeah, the defensive stand Gorgons had at the end of the game was incredible. Diffusion not able to finish the goal. They had a lot of good looks at the end, but incredible defense. I'd say a lot of calm play from everyone really there for Gorgons. We didn't see any double commits, really costly mistakes defensively, letting up a goal in their final little flurry of attacks. So Gorgons have been playing smart on defense when they need to, and it's been just enough to get them up in this series 3-1, looking to take it home early. But Diffusion, I'm sure they are not going down without a fight. We've seen them time and time again be able to handle really high adversity through series, and I expect them to do so next game with really answers on these counterattacks is what they've got to do. And if they can find either their offensive rhythm or maybe some disruption on this Gorgon side, they're gonna be able to find enough goals to get past this Gorgon's offenses. We've seen the offense be so dominant, but the defense kind of lacks positioning after their big attacks.
Yeah, I think that's the only way, and we've seen it work time and time again, but Chunk, it's so much easier said than done. Div gonna try to make a play happen here. Kadofe able to get the touch, but Subzero has the shot. The shot is good, not good enough. That is Kadofe with a huge save. Xeia trying to get that ball clear. Mallow's touch going to go straight to Demoralize. That one's banged out the backboard. Demoralize looking for one more. Subzero had that ball read, had that ball cleared. A huge dunk there by Xeia, though. As Div looking for one more. Kadofe is able to get the touch on it. Though that's a shot from Kadofe, but Subzero gonna be there for the save. Demoralize not letting this attack in, though. Not able to get the follow-up touch after that first one. As that ball bounces mid. Mallow over to Div. Div pops that one up for Subzero. Subzero with the beat. Can he get the double? The shot not gonna come through, but that ball floating mid. One more touch from Subzero. Nobody from Diffusion was ready for it. Demoralize looking for the pass out to Xeia. Xeia on the sidewall looking for the shot, not going to come through. Demoralize picks up that 100 boost, gets that ball mid. Kadofe's in the air. Kadofe not going to have the shot there. Subzero looking for the clear, not going to get the touch off the sidewall. Demoralize going to just cut this one, has a net to shoot at, not the power to get past Div, though. Demoralize continuing to just be a nuisance. Just gets that ball back mid. Kadofe going to have an opportunity to shoot that ball. That one not going to go in, but the double is there. And Kadofe showing up big here in Game 5.
Yeah, the offensive pressure we saw from Demoralize setting up the play, just being a nuisance in their half, and Kadofe able to capitalize off a big, deep middle, and that's all you need to do if you're going to continue this offensive rally. And Diffusion had an opportunity earlier in this game, not able to capitalize, but more team plays have worked as well, not just counterattacks. They need to find something here as they find themselves in a deficit again here in Game 5.
Yeah, and another huge shot there from Demoralize, but not going to go through. Div now going to have some time on this ball, but he's not going to take it. He has all the time in the world, but Demoralize, he says, thank you very much, I'll take that one. Gets a huge fake. Subzero able to get the dunk. Xeia shot, going to get blocked away by Mallow, and Mallow able to get that ball cleared, but Diffusion really scrambling here as Kadofe, as somebody said in chat, but I think it's, I'm going to keep saying Kadofe. That's just how it's said, and that's how it's going to be said. As Subzero's not able to get the touch off the backboard. Mallow has to get this one clear, and he's able to. A nice high clear there. Off the ceiling, Div able to get the beat, but it's only as far as Xeia. Xeia going to pop that ball up high. Not going to get the shot there, but it's going to be Demoralize getting the demo into Kadofe getting the shots. And, I mean, the 3-on-1 attack is just too much here for the Gorgons.
Yeah, the ability to really break down the team one by one with these midfield plays and the demos is what makes this Gorgon team stand out really from any other team in Novice. They just play their roles so well, and if they continue to do so in this Game 5, they will be looking themselves down a Novice League championship, and they have looked impressive so far, and they look to do so.
All they need is to survive for 2.5 minutes. Maybe put on another one. That was a screamer from Xeia, but gonna get saved away by Div. But that one off the backboard. Div gonna have a touch, but not a great one, so it's gonna be more pressure here. Demoralize with a nice pop, but Mallow. Uh-oh, Mallow. Don't do it to him, Mallow. Mallow with one touch doesn't have the boost to follow it up. Would have been disgusting if he was able to put that one on target, but instead, it's gonna be Subzero off his own backboard. One touch, looking for the air dribble out, but Demoralize gonna be right on top of that one. Able to get the shot as well. Had to be Mallow covering up for Div there. Xeia on his own backboard. An awkward bounce, but Mallow is going to hit that one to the backboard. Demoralize has the read, but it's going to be out to Div. But Kadofe going to get the beat there. Mallow now. A touch over to Xeia. Xeia with a nice pop. Xeia toward the corner. Div going to have that one answered, but Xeia was able to get the dunk. Demoralize able to get that one to the backboard, but Mallow able to get that ball cleared. Subzero. High shot. Or, sorry, high clear, but gonna look for a shot now. That one off the backboard. The bump doesn't come through. And it's gonna be an instant counter for Gorgons. And, uh-oh, Diffusion, look out. You're down 3. And, Chuck, we are 1 minute 24 seconds away from crowning these Gorgons as Novice champions.
Yeah, what I saw from that, the car language, I would say, from Diffusion, they just looked beat after that quick counterattack. The great ability to find the pass to Xeia, who's just able to send it right back in their face in what felt like 0 to 100 real quick on their counterattack. And right now, Diffusion gonna need to find some miracles, gonna need to find some end of season heroics, but so far they haven't found anything against this stout defense we've seen.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. If they want to come back by 3 goals in 45 seconds with the way this Gorgon team is playing, the pressure they are applying, a huge demo, but that touch gonna just be to their own corner. Diffusion, as Mallow is able to get a beat on one, Zero boost to get a beat on another, gets a backflip, but Xeia gonna demo the person that was supposed to follow. No boost here from Mallow, just trying to play the 50. Div not able to get the touch. Subzero able to win a huge 50 there, but Kadofe gonna have the touch to the sidewall. Mallow looking for a pass mid. Div not close enough to it. Now Div on the sidewall knows it's all over. Xeia looking to put the dagger away. Doesn't want it. It's too easy for him. Gonna celebrate with the boys because they know this series is over. Their season is over, and they come out on top. Div doesn't put that one on. The ball just needs to touch the ground, and Gorgons are your Nemesis Season 13 Novice Champions.
Yeah, we saw the stretch from Gorgons going down late in the season, and it just looked incredible to see what they were able to do all throughout playoffs, all throughout the last little stretch of the season. And respect to all of them. They played phenomenally, and I think that Gorgons really deserve this just based on the improvement they're able to make all season long. And great plays from everyone on Gorgons, and really good to show up for Diffusion as well. They played their heart out all season long, and just not able to find it against this Gorgons team who looked incredible in the final game.
Yeah, and you know what, Chunk? I had to say this. I think the Gorgons were just that much better. I don't know. I mean, like, Diffusion, I'm positive they were the second best team in Novice. So it's not like there was much more competition for Gorgons. They beat everybody. And, you know, when it mattered most, they stepped up. And I think all three of them really did step up. I think Demoralize is just so demoralizing to play against. That man definitely my MVP. That he just looks so much quicker in the midfield. Every shot was also a really good shot from him. I just think as a whole he really elevated that Gorgons roster. But man, Chuck, what a series! A lot of people predicted the 4-1, yourself included. So congratulations, you're right on that. And that's just a huge win if you are Gorgons. But that's just our first grand final of the night, first grand final of season 13. And that might be the most dominant one we see, because I know there's a lot of them remaining, and I know the rest of them are gonna be absolute peak content here. And we still got the prospect one coming up here, Chunk. So I'm ready to see that one now after seeing these novice teams really battle it out and seeing just how good these novice teams are. I'm ready to see how good these prospect champion level teams are.
Yeah, we see a battle we've all been waiting for. We've seen Gladiators be that number 2 seed, be pretty good down the line, but they are playing Origin, who we all have heard the story, starting out 0-4, finding everyone they needed to pick up to make this run here. And I am so excited to see how this Prospect League game will end up, especially with all the marbles on the line for both these teams.
All the marbles on the line. Season 13 of Nemesis Grand Finals will be back very shortly. We're going to take a small little break, and we will be back with our Prospect League as the Gladiators go up against Origin. So stick around, everybody. You're not going to want to miss that one, and we'll be right back. Deuces.